What's up? It's your boy Big Sonny, and we back. We back with another one off the court. If y'all haven't checked out my previous episode, make sure y'all go check that out. When I talked about Brandon Jennings versus the '09 draft class, make sure y'all go check that out. Y'all go watch that. And I know I did say that I was gonna do the draft, redo the draft for 2009, but I ain't gonna do the whole thing. I'm gonna just probably do like the lottery, the first 14 picks. That's about it. You feel me? And lately I've been busy. I've been writing a lot. Been doing the whole type of writing. I'm back on this music stuff. About to get it going. About to get back active. Um, but in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna be talking about Lance Stephenson versus Mike Beasley. Lance Stephenson versus Mike Beasley. That's gonna be a goodie. That's gonna be a good one right there. June 6th, they playing for 100K. I don't even know how that game came about, but I just seen that on the gram, and I was like, man, that's a goodie right there. That's a good matchup because they both love that type of game. They both from that type of environment. They love that type of environment. We all know Mike Beasley done played in Dykeman, Rutgers, Drew League, all types of places. Lance Stephenson, same thing. And they both played in the Elite 24 game back in the days in high school. And y'all both, y'all know Lance Stephenson, born ready, straight out of Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island, home of Sebastian Telfair, Stephon Marbury. You know, that's y'all already know about that. Lincoln, Juice All Stars. Lance Stephenson won four city championships with Tiny. And it's so crazy because I was at the game. I was at the game when Lance actually broke the record. When Lance broke the state record for points, all-time points in high school. I was at that game at LIU in Brooklyn. Yeah, LIU in Brooklyn. Um, I was there because I would play with Forest Hills. I was playing with Forest Hills at that time. We had just won the borough championships. We had just beat Dozo, and then the game after us was Lincoln. It was for the borough championships. And I forgot. I think Lincoln either played. I think they played Jefferson that year. I think they played Jeff that year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was boys and girls. I think they played Jeff, and it was like probably like the first two or three possessions, the first two or three plays of the game. Lance scored. Lance scored a bucket, and they had stopped the game. They had took a picture. They gave him like a plaque or whatever it was, and they got the game back rolling. It was like Lance Stephenson, all time leading scorer in New York State. And that's crazy. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been hearing about Lance Stephenson for a minute, ever since I was a youngin', ever since I was young, for real. And y'all already know he done did his thing. Cincinnati, one and done in Cincinnati. He did his thing in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Played in the league for a little bit. He had his best years with the Pacers. We all know Lance Stephenson with the Pacers, We all seen him go at it with Braun, D Wade, like shout out to Lance, He really did his thing, made some noise, you feel me? And Lance got raw talent. Lance got raw talent, but at the same time, he do got skills though too, cause his jump shot is water. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes Lance jump shot is automatic. You feel me? I done played against Lance Stephenson myself. I played against Lance twice. You feel me? Like he done did his thing too. He always been a killer, been a beast. So this gonna be a good game. And man, he got some shit with him. You know what I'm saying? And Mike Beasley, shout out to Mike Beasley. Mike Beasley, he a beast, he a dog. I ain't gonna lie, Mike Beasley is like that. Mike Beasley's definitely like that. I fuck with Mike Beasley's game. I was a fan of Mike Beasley for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Beasley, he done did his thing at Oak Hill. I think after that he went to Notre Dame Prep. 6'9", 6'8", left-handed. He could use his right hand too. It's crazy. He's ambidextrous too, but he really uses left hand mostly. you know, and I ain't gonna lie, Mike Beasley was a beast at Kansas State. At K-State, Mike Beasley was a beast. He averaged 25 points at K-State. I didn't see Mike Beasley score like 40 a couple times like in K-State. You feel me? Like he done did his thing. You know, Mike Beasley got that game too, you know. And it's so crazy because like, I feel like if Mike Beasley wasn't like the second pick, I feel like if Mike Beasley didn't get drafted to the Miami Heat, I feel like he would have had a better career. The reason why I say that because it's like Miami Heat, D Wade was still on the Heat. It was like D Wade's like fifth or sixth year, fourth, fifth or sixth year, something like that. Maybe like his fifth or sixth year, or something like that. When Mike Beasley came in, you know, so it's still young D Wade, you know what I'm saying? D Wade's still trying to be Flash, and then you got Mike Beasley, the second pick, and Mike Beasley's like that. So it's like, I don't feel like if Mike Beasley would have, you know, if Mike Beasley would have went to a different team, I feel like his career would have been better in the league. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. You know, he was in that class with D Rose. D Rose was #1 pick. That year, D Rose took Memphis to the chip, but they lost to Kansas. You know, and Chicago had the #1 pick, and D Rose from Chicago, so it's like D Rose definitely gonna get that #1 pick. But you know, nonetheless, shout out to Mike Beasley. Mike Beasley, you know, he done been outside. He done played against KD, all that, and it's crazy. I remember Mike Beasley. Mike Beasley came to to ISA. If y'all know about ISA, ISA is a legendary tournament out in New York City, in Queens, Jamaica. You know, high school tournament, 19 and under, where coaches done flew in players from different cities, states, and all that. All the top players, you know, is ISA's, you know, the fun tournament. I definitely miss playing in ISA. But I remember Mike Beasley had 50. He had 50 at ISA. He played with Juice, you know, and it's so crazy. I don't even remember. I don't even think Lance played in that game. But I just remember like after the game, Mike Beasley had a Lincoln Rail Splitter, like the Lincoln Rail Splitter jersey on the blue joint, and in the back, number 30, it said Beasley on it. And he had the Adidas, the Pro models on, you know, and I was like, man, that's crazy. Mike Beasley with the Lincoln gear, you feel me? But Lance Stephenson, Mike Beasley, who y'all think is gonna win? You know, like, do y'all think the game is even gonna finish? Like, I don't even know if the game gonna finish, you know, and I feel like the game definitely can't be in New York or Baltimore, you know, because Lance from New York, Beasley from Baltimore, or B-more, you know, so it's gonna be, it can't be no home court advantage, and they're playing for 100K, like, security gonna be there, like, security gotta be there, you know what I'm saying? But that's gonna be a goodie, definitely gonna be tuned in, definitely gonna be tapped into that. And I feel like Lance gonna win. I feel like Lance gonna win. The reason why I feel like Lance gonna win, cause Lance, like, I don't know, I may be biased, I may be on some New York shit, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because I've seen Lance play more, and I actually played against Lance myself. So, but like Lance, like he you know, he get like that, you know what I'm saying? Like he got his shit in his bag, you know, he aggressive, he's strong. Lance could play that bully ball too. Lance could play that bully ball, you know, you seen Lance trying to go at it with Braun, you feel me? And Beasley's like that too, you feel me? Beasley got that too. Beasley got the handles. And it's so crazy because it's funny because um, shout out to D Lamb and shout out to Marcus T. Make sure you check out their podcast because they was also talking about they was also talking about Mike Beasley and Lance Stephenson, you know, and D Lamb got Lance winning and Marcus got Beasley winning, you know. So Marcus know Beasley, they know each other, they cool or whatever. So Beasley felt some type of way about what D Lamb said when D Lamb said Beasley and really he just got that 1-2 step through. You know, it's like it's not gonna work with Lance. You know, and Beasley actually responded to that. He said, it's all love and war when you choose a side, but no ISO moves is crazy, you know. And y'all know Beasley be playing in a big three, so Marcus T gonna have D Lamb and them playing the big three. So they was joking around. It was like, yo, we gonna send Beasley for you. Matter of fact, make sure you're ready for Beasley. But but Mike Beasley, you know, Lance Stephenson, that's the real matchup right there. That's the big matchup. That's for the big bag. That's for honey bun. That's for 100K right there. You know. So let me know who y'all think is gonna win. Like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, and check out my previous video when I talked about Brandon Jennings versus the '09 draft class. And make sure y'all check out my music too, you know what I'm saying? And make sure y'all you know, cop from my man Ferris, D&D, Do Not Disturb, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all stay tuned for more off the court. Big Sonny.